Hello and welcome back to our next installment of Adult Crafts. Today we're going to be making lucky cats, and according to the symbology of this, lucky cats with their hand raised are bringing you good fortune, especially in business and happiness. So I thought for 2021 we could all use a little bit of that. So today we're making a lucky cat. Let's go over what's in your kit. Big puppy kit this time. So in your kit, you'll find a few different bags. So there's a small bag of rice, the big bag of stuffing, and then you will have 2 socks. I tried to color coordinate all the socks for you. The thread needed with your socks, or the needle is right inside the cork there. And lastly, a little bell. We're gonna start with the first sock in your kit. Right now I am using a children's sock, but you in your kit have adult size socks. We're gonna take a little bit of rice and we're gonna put that in the bottom of the sock. The reason behind this is if you want your sock to stand up, it'll stand up much better with a rice base than a stuffing base. So you don't need a ton, just enough to make a flat bottom. Yep, that feels about right. Okay. Then you're going to stuff your sock, and you're going to stuff it all the way to the top. I like to use little bits because it doesn't look quite so lumpy, but however you want to do it is your prerogative. And you just, want to get it in there so that you have a good body for your cat. I can suggest that if you prefer a shorter cat, you're going to want to turn your sock inside out if you want a shorter cat, tie this part into a knot, turn it back inside out, and then continue on with all the steps I've done before. Once you get your stuffing all the way to the top, you want to make sure you get it in that heel there, because that's actually going to be right about where your face is going to be for your cat. And you want to make sure you stuff it so that it sort of makes sort of a, I don't know what you want to call it, snout. I guess they don't really have a snout, do they? Whatever it's called, you know what I mean. All right, so now that you see it's all stuffed up, you are going to take your sock at the top, and you are going to take your thread, and you're going to sew. I like to start on the inside so that my knot is on the inside. All right, so you're gonna close this right up like that, straight across, and you're gonna sew that shut. And the smaller you make your stitches, the better, only because you don't want that stuffing coming out of the top. So now that we've got that sewn right across the top, you can see sort of that you have your ears kind of poking out there. What I did to make them more pronounced, especially on this cat, you can see he's got more pronounced ears, is that I took a pinch and a pinch and brought it up to the top like so. And I took my thread and needle again, and I just made a small stitch, just one little stitch right there, so that your ears stick out a little more. If you don't want to do that step, that's fine, it's your preference. So now we're gonna go to our second sock. And again, this is a children's sock, so it's gonna look a little smaller than yours. Laying flat, you're gonna wanna cut it to the length of the arms you want, depending on how tall your cat is. So you're just gonna cut it straight across, like so. And then just put this to the side for the second. At this point, you are going to take this piece and fold it in half. Line it right up with the other side, and you're going to cut this to make 2 arms. So the 2 sides are here, the folded edge is here. We're going to cut along the folded edge and just shape our arms. And you are going to kind of, once you get to the toe, you want to round that off a little. So just make a rounded edge. And you'll see that you have 2 pieces when you're done, like this. You're going to take your pieces and turn them inside out. Line them right up with the other side. Like so. And you're going to stitch the long edge and around the rounded edge and leave this end open. So you're going to take your little leftover piece of sock that's left and you're going to cut along the edge so you just have that little bitty cuff part. So you're just going to make a nice smooth cut along the edge and cut that cuff right off. And you're going to put this piece off to the side. So here's this is going to be your collar. If you don't like the frayed edge, you could put a little glue on the edge. If you don't like the look of the cuff, you can use ribbon instead, however you like. So then you're going to get your cat and you're going to put this right over his head and around where you want the neck to be. So now he has a little pink collar. So now that you have your collar on, the reason we want that on first is because you're gonna pin or you're gonna tack up, sew a stitch so that it goes next to the cat's like cheek area to keep it up. So we wanted that collar on first so that this can be stitched right here. Now you'll see that I've stitched along this edge and the rounded hand part. And you're going to take this and you're going to sew that to the side of your cat. Now, when you get ready to do that, you can see I already have one on. You sort of want to make sure you line it up so it's standing up. You could put this one down if you wanted. You could put it up if you wanted. You could just leave it floppy if you wanted. However you want to do your cat is up to you. So you're going to take this side and you're going to sew it on just like you have here. Okay, so now that we have our collar and our arms on, we're going to take our little bell and we are going to sew that right on here. Kind of right in the middle there. Oops. Got my thread a little tied up there. And just tie that off however you like to tie it off. I like to do a little knot. Ooh, if my fingers would let me do it. All right, and then just trim off your extra thread. So now you've got your little collar on there. This is where you can make the choice of whether or not you want to draw on a face or you want to embroider a face. As you can see on this one, I embroidered this. So my suggestion is just to go with what you feel. And I like to draw it on a little bit first. And then you could just go right over the top with your stitches. I'm using a Sharpie, but you could use a fabric marker if you prefer. And don't forget your whiskers. All right, so I got my idea of where I'd like to sew, and we could just start anywhere. Usually one piece will do it for you. See, I like to go in where the knot can't be seen because we can't go in from behind on this. So I'm gonna start way down there. Find my spot right up here and then go from there. Once you're done, you're gonna have a nice little face like this. You can't even see my Sharpie marks under there. And you can also have the option of, if you wanna put like little claw marks or, you know, toe marks in your hand, you know, you could do that. You can tuck your hand down if you prefer, put a stitch in it that way. There's so many options. And then, like I said, with the rice in the bottom, it just stands right up for you. So I hope you have all enjoyed our special craft today with our lucky cat. We all need all the luck we can get for 2021. Stay safe and see you soon.